how I began earning $25,000 per month at 21 years old by upgrading my identity. So in today's video, I'm gonna break this down for you. I'm gonna break down the exact things that I've implemented, that I've helped hundreds of other guys implement in order to create six figures, multiple six figures, seven, and even some eight-figure businesses. Strategies that you can implement for yourself. And I'm also going to give you a little bit background of myself, so you know that I wasn't born into money and what my story was, and to help you see the things that I had to overcome in order to create this. Now, when I was growing up, grew up single mom. Single mom, my mom, my sister, and myself. That was it. My dad, he was out of the picture for a chunk of time. My parents got divorced when I was 5 years old. My dad was in and out of jail. He had some problems and some things that he was running into. So obviously that caused a lot of beliefs within me, right? Like a lot of stories and a lot of things within my mind and myself that could have trapped me and held me back. But I knew from the point I was 12 years old when I saw my dad and heard my dad going to jail and he left my life, I knew that I wanted to achieve more and make something greater out of my life and use those pains. Somehow in my mind it got triggered. I wanted to use that to my advantage. And I knew over time I was going to. 12 years old, I started building my own businesses and doing these things. But a real shift didn't occur. That was more of like I just want to make it happen at that point in time. The way at 21 years old, I was able to create my income and build my business, there were 3 steps that I implemented. 3 steps I'm going to share with you. These include facts, past, and future. You may look at this and be like, what are you talking about? Cool. I'm going to break it down for you. The number one step in order for you to achieve the goals that you want, maybe it's $25,000 per month, maybe it's $10,000 per month, maybe it's $9,000 per month. You want to hit the 100K. Maybe it's more than that. Whatever it is, whatever objective that you have. Again, I've helped guys implement this at every single area. $0 to multiple six figures to 8 figures, everything. Step number 1 is facing your facts. And before I even dive into this, if you're an entrepreneur, I want to give you this opportunity. If you're an entrepreneur and you feel stuck right now, like you're running into barriers, these invisible mental barriers, you're not sure what it is that's holding you back, even though you're implementing the strategies and tactics, you're doing the personal development work, and there's still a big block and you're not able to create those goals and achieve those goals that you're after, and you hit a plateau, click the link in the description for a 10-minute consult call with me or someone on my team, in the comments as well. We'll jump on with you, help you get clear what's holding you back, and see if you're a good fit to join our Power and Purpose Identity Upgrade Accelerator. So number 1 is facts. What do we get to do? We get to FTF is what we say it is over here. We get to face the facts. This stage is you getting extremely clear on where you are right now. Because if you try to create without the facts, nothing will ever last. And that's what I did at that point in time. 20 years old, I said, I have to get clear on exactly where I am. I did some teachings and some studies, and I spent a year traveling the country, learning from the most successful people I could get in front of in order to learn these things. And I got clear that I had to get clear where I was. Because I was trying to create these goals for myself and do these things, but nothing was working. Because I didn't know where I was. But you see, facing the facts isn't just necessarily knowing about where you are right now in life. That's important. A lot of people ignore the facts because they're scared of how much money they have in their bank account, how much money they're making per month. It's easy to live in this fantasy world, this fairy tale land. It's hard and painful to face your facts. That's why a lot of guys don't go to the doctors when they get older, because they don't want to see how much shit that they have going on. But it's important because that's how you grow. That's how you get better. You face the facts. When you face the facts, guess what happens? You get clear on what your beliefs are and what your identity is. Your identity is the major part of this equation. Your identity creates your reality. The only reason why you have the results that you have right now is because you are attached to a specific identity, which creates the beliefs, which leads to your actions and leads to your results. So what is the identity that you're holding on to? Maybe you're making 5 figures in your business, right? Maybe you're making $5,000 per month and you can't see any more than that, and you're hustling and grinding. Then guess what? Somewhere in your identity, you're attached to it having to be hard. Maybe you're making more money, but you're working 24/7. It has to be hard for you. It has to be a challenge. Those are the facts, right? The facts are you're working all the time. The facts are you're only making X amount of dollars. Your beliefs and your identity, it has to be hard. It has to be a challenge. You get clear in your beliefs by looking at your facts. If you don't know what your beliefs are right now, and you don't know what your identity is, you will never create anything different. Because no matter what you try, you're doing the same thing, just masked as something different, because you're showing up as the same version of you. You will never get greater results than what your identity is, because your pride and your ego will never allow yourself to achieve or do anything that is outside of who you unconsciously believe yourself to be. So my question to you is, what are your facts with money? And you can write this down as we're going. Your income facts right now. Your facts around business right now. Your facts around if you want to dive into relationships right now. How much money do you, and questions for each one, how much money do you have in your bank account? And if you want the actual document where I go in depth on what these questions are, just post document in the comment section down below. How much money is in your bank account? The most amount of money you've made per month. How much money you're making per month right now. You get very clear on that. Because this is going to help you see your beliefs. Your beliefs. I need to struggle to make money. I can only make X amount of dollars per month. I can only make X amount of dollars. It has to be hard. It has to be difficult. It has to be a challenge. Awesome. So now you know your facts and now you know your beliefs. Now, your past. We call it ETB. Marker's not working. I got it on a bad angle. That's why. ETB. Which is embrace. Actually, ETP, I'm sorry. Embrace the past. Now you get to dive into your past. This is very scary for most people. You're going back into your childhood. You're going back to see where these thoughts started from. I know for myself, I used to hold on to money and I didn't enjoy my life at all. I didn't enjoy my life because I didn't allow myself to actually use my money. I felt like I had to hoard it in my bank account. There were points in my life where I had over $50,000 in my bank account and I wouldn't even buy chapstick, even though my lips were extremely chapped, because I thought I needed to hold on to that money. My lips are actually chapped right now. I am buying chapstick at this point in my life. I just left it at my house. I felt like I needed to hold on to it. And I wasn't enjoying life. I wasn't having any fulfillment or fun. And my income started to dip because I wasn't utilizing my money for investments, for growth, for anything of that sort. And I looked at why. I had to go back into my past. And I had to realize the reason why I created that story for myself is because my mom, who was my successful parent, the one who was always there and created and was always there and always made us feel amazing, she always held on to her money. My dad, who was the one who was out of the picture and doing things that he did not want to be doing consciously. He did at that point, obviously. But he was spending his money, he was blowing his money. So I related spending your money to just creating chaos in your life and saving your money to having a powerful, fulfilling life. But my mom was making $15 an hour, raising 2 kids. I wasn't. I was making $20,000 an hour, raising no kids. So I got clear on where I was holding myself back. And that's just an example. But you're going to be able to go deep into your past to look at what created certain stories, what created feelings of unworthiness for you, what made you believe that it has to be hard and it has to be a struggle to achieve results. Look at that. Because you embrace your past, and what happens is you break down this identity and you realize your results aren't you. You get clear on where the identity and where the beliefs actually came from. So you dispel them. You get rid of them. You allow yourself to release them and you let them go at this point in time. You forgive, release, and let go, which is pretty much the same as release, but it's a different process. FRL, forgive, release, and let go. We take you through this in our Accelerator program, our Identity Upgrade Accelerator. So you embrace the past. So now those beliefs that you were holding on to, you're aware of where they came from. You're aware that you were keeping yourself stuck. You're aware that you were sabotaging yourself, your results. That's why you kept going down. That's why you haven't achieved the results that you're at. You're aware of what those beliefs are and where they stem from. So now you're a clean slate at this point in time. You're a clean slate. I'm glad that didn't work because I didn't really want to draw that. But you're a clean slate. So now what do? You get to CTF. Create the future. Now you get to get clear on what it is next that you're stepping into. But you're not doing it from this place that you used to do it in the past, as this version of yourself who still held on to these beliefs, as this version of yourself who didn't face your facts. Before you were doing it blindly. I want to make $1 million a year. Meanwhile, you're making $2,000 a month and you were stuck behind this belief that you have to work hard and struggle. So even if you did make $1 million a year, it would have been this huge struggle for you. You would have been working your ass off 24/7, would have had absolutely no life, no relationship, nothing. I'm glad you didn't make $1 million a year from that point, from that standpoint, from that identity. That's why you have it, and now you can really step into it powerfully. So you're creating the future. Now, in order to create your future, there's different things that we focus on with our future. We have our goals, right? We have those habits and those routines that we take on in order to achieve our goals. But most importantly, we have our identity. Your identity, you can see that on there, right, is the foundation. Your identity is the building block. So instead of focusing on what you want, which a lot of people do, right, we have 3 levels. We have 1, what? We have 2, how? And we have 3, who? Instead of focusing on what you want, because what you want doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get there. We can have the same goal as someone else. One person gets there and one person doesn't. So the goal wasn't the determining factor if you achieve success or not. The how, the routines and the goals that we have, the routines and the habits that we have for ourselves, that enables us to get there, right? If one person got there and one person didn't, you say, oh, it's because their habits, it's because the action that they took. Obviously. But maybe they both knew about those actions. They both knew about those routines that they could have done, but one person stuck to it and one person didn't. So then that's not the baseline layer either. The identity is who it is that we believe ourselves to be. Our who. Because when that person takes on the identity of let's say it's a 7-figure entrepreneur, that CEO, that person takes on that identity, that becomes a part of who they are. And now the action steps become simple. Instead of, let's look at vegans, for example. Great example. I was vegan for 8 months, did horribly for me, so I'm not vegan anymore. But I was also gluten-free and sugar-free and all that other processed food-free at that point. I lost 15 pounds of muscle. But side note, who it is, vegan. You don't have to think about eating meat or not eating meat. You're a vegan. It's not even a question. So when you allow yourself, I am a 7-figure CEO who enjoys his life, who has fun and freedom. Maybe that's the identity that you take on. Then you're acting in accordance to. Then you take the action steps and they stack onto your identity. And it becomes habitual. And all these things begin to become very simple for you. The how becomes simple, the action steps that you're taking, and the what, you achieve the goal. You set the goal, you know what that objective is, but you don't focus on it. You focus on who it is that you're becoming. Because that's what's most important to achieve the objectives and the goals that you have set for yourself. And that's exactly what it is that I did. So I want to be making, or not I want to be making, but I am a 6-figure CEO. That's what I said. So then I started to rewire my belief system around money. I realized that was one of the biggest things. Rewire my mindset around money. Rewire my thought process. Began hiring some things out, getting some virtual assistants at that point in order to hire some things out. Stepping into business in a completely new way. Creating systems and structure. Everything that a 6-figure CEO would be doing, and I did the identity filter, which is another step, and we have a video where we go in depth on that section of things, the identity filter. But I asked myself, with every action step I took, what would a 6-figure CEO be doing? What would a multiple 6-figure CEO be doing? And I took those action steps because I allowed myself to run through the filter. So again, to go back over these steps, number 1 is you're facing your facts. You're getting clear on where you are right now in order to get clear on the beliefs that you're holding on to and the identity that you have at this point in your life. Number 2 is embracing the past. You're looking at where this started and where this came from so you can eliminate it from your life. So where did it come from? What are these beliefs that I have? So you can release, so you can forgive, release, and let go. Forgive the situation and circumstance and the people that were involved in it, or just your past self. Release it from your life. Get it out of your life. I'm done with it. I'm sending it off. And letting it go and fully letting go of that experience and that identity and that belief that you had, aware, you demystified it, you de-spelled it. And then you're creating the future, getting clear on the identity, who it is. I am a blank. I'm a 6-figure CEO who has freedom and enjoys his life. I'm a 6-figure CEO who has an amazing relationship, enjoys his life. That's who you are. That becomes your identity. What are the action steps that this 6-figure CEO takes? And you start to take the action, you get clear what the action and the routine is. You break it down for yourself. Every single day you run your actions through your identity filter to make sure that it's in alignment with this version of you. And you have that goal set for yourself. 90 days out, break it down. What we do at Power and Purpose is we have our 1 year, our 90, 60, 30 day. They're all breakdowns of one another. And then weekly and daily on top of that. So, my friend, allow yourself to implement this. And if you are an entrepreneur and you're looking to really build your business and you find yourself stuck right now, like you're running into a plateau or a roadblock and you don't know what's going on, and you know that maybe you sabotage yourself every once in a while as well. You've taken on the business strategies and tactics, you're implementing them, you're working hard, but for some reason your results aren't panning out the way you want them to be. Then make sure to click on the link in the description. You might have it in the comment section as well to schedule a 10-minute consult call with me or someone on my team, and we'll help you get clear on what's holding you back, strategize with you, and then see if you're a good fit for our Identity Upgrade Accelerator. Make sure to hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. The notification bell, we're posting 2 videos per week coming your way, probably even start to ramp that up a little bit, so make sure you get notified so you can get those videos and take action and implement them. Hit that like button, give us a thumbs up so this video gets more reach. Any comments or questions you have, post them down below as well. I just gave you a lot of assignments. And we have other videos that you can watch on identity upgrading, on identity filter, and other things of that sort all over the page. All right, my name is George Wohar. I will catch you in the next video. Let's get it done.